Imagine living in a town where someone knows your secrets. Not small secrets, the kind you have never told anyone. Now imagine, they start writing to you. Letters, watching you, threatening you, exposing things. Only someone very close could know. And no matter what you do, they never stop. This happened in a quiet town in Ohio. And what started as a few letters turned into something much darker. For nearly 18 years, someone terrorized this community. And to this day, no one knows who they really were. Circleville, Ohio, 1976. A small Midwestern town where most people placed family faith and football above everything else. Population just under 12,000. Everyone knew everyone. Everyone trusted everyone. And then the letters started arriving. Handwritten. No return address. Postmarked Columbus, Ohio. But with no name. Just accusations. Affairs. Lies. Secrets. Details that should have been impossible to know. The first letters targeted two people. Gordon Massie, the married superintendent of Westfall School in Circleville, and Mary Gillispie, a married school bus driver. The letter accused them of having an affair. It read, "Stay away from Massie. I know where you live. I have been observing your house. I know you have children." Both Gordon and Mary denied the affair, but the letters kept coming. More letters to Mary, more letters to Gordon, letters to the school board urging them to investigate, letters to local newspapers, letters to elected officials. The writer understood the power of small-town gossip, and they used it like a weapon. Then the letters turned darker. Mary's husband Ron began receiving them too. One letter to Ron read, "Gillispie, you have had 2 weeks and done nothing. Make her admit the truth and inform the school board. If not, I will broadcast it on CBS, posters, signs, and billboards, until the truth comes out." Ron was furious. He believed he knew who was behind the letters. Mary and Ron told only 3 people about them. Ron's sister, Karen Sue Freshour, her husband Paul Freshour, and Paul's sister. 3 people. That detail would become important later. Then, on an August evening in 1977, a phone rang at the Gillispie house. Ron picked up. Nobody knows what was said on that call. But moments later, Ron Gillispie stormed out to his truck with a .22 caliber revolver in hand. He told his daughter he was going to confront the letter writer. He drove off into the dark. He never came back. His truck was found crashed into a tree. Ron Gillispie was dead at the scene. He was 35 years old. The coroner ruled it an accident. But there was a detail that did not fit. 1 bullet had been fired from his revolver. Where that bullet went, nobody ever determined. And Ron's blood alcohol level was recorded at .16, 1.5 times the legal limit. People who knew Ron said he was not a heavy drinker. They were surprised. Was Ron Gillispie murdered that night? Or was he drunk and driving to confront someone he should have left alone? Nobody has ever answered that question with certainty. After Ron's death, the letters did not stop. They multiplied. New letters accused the sheriff of covering up Ron's death. More letters to Mary, letters to her children, letters accusing neighbors of embezzlement, domestic violence, and even murder. Eventually, hundreds of residents received them. Nearly everyone in Circleville either received a letter or knew someone who did. The Pickaway County Sheriff's Office investigated. They tapped phones. They watched houses. They worked with the Postal Service to monitor the mail. Nothing. The letters continued. Then in 1983, things escalated to something far more dangerous. Mary Gillispie was driving her usual school bus route one morning when she noticed a sign on the side of the road. It was addressed to her daughter. The message was obscene and deeply threatening. Mary stopped the bus. She got out and approached the sign to tear it down. And then she noticed something. A piece of twine connecting the sign to a box behind it. She took the box home. When she opened it, she froze. Inside was a loaded .25 caliber pistol, rigged to fire the moment someone pulled the sign. This was no longer just letters. Someone had just tried to kill her. Mary took the box to the police immediately. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation examined the gun. They recovered the serial number, and they traced it. The gun belonged to Paul Freshour, Mary's own brother-in-law. The same man who had been told about the letters in confidence. The same man who had pushed police to investigate Ron's death as a murder. When investigators interviewed Paul Freshour's estranged wife, Karen Sue, she told them everything. She said Paul had become obsessed with Mary after Ron died. She said she had found letters hidden in their house and torn up in the toilet. She said Paul had written the Circleville letters. Paul Freshour denied everything. He said the gun had been stolen from his garage weeks earlier. He failed a polygraph test. He was arrested. In October 1983, Paul Freshour went on trial for the attempted murder of Mary Gillispie. 2 handwriting experts testified that the writing on the letters and envelopes could be Freshour's. The jury convicted him. He was sentenced to 7 to 25 years in prison. Circleville breathed a sigh of relief. It was finally over. Except it was not. While Paul Freshour was in prison, the letters continued. Same handwriting, same tone, same intimate knowledge of private lives. Prison authorities investigated. They confirmed Paul Freshour had no access to pens or paper. He could not have been sending the letters. And then Paul Freshour himself received a letter. It read, Freshour. Now, when are you going to believe you are not getting out of there? I told you 2 years ago when we set him up. They stay set up. Someone was taunting him from the outside. Either Paul Freshour had an accomplice nobody had identified, or the wrong man was in prison. Paul Freshour served 10 years. He was released on parole in May 1994. The Circleville letters stopped. In 1994, the same year Freshour was released. That timing is the strongest argument that Freshour was behind the letters all along. But it is also the strongest argument that whoever really wrote the letters knew Freshour had been released and stopped to avoid renewed investigation. Paul Freshour maintained his innocence until his death in 2012. He never confessed. He never explained. He went to his grave insisting he had been set up. The case was examined by former FBI profiler Mary Ellen O'Toole for the CBS program, 48 Hours. She said whoever wrote the letters had a serious personality disorder, a deep need for power control and domination, a cold enjoyment of other people's fear and suffering. She said this psychology would have been visible to people around the writer long before the letter started. And she said she did not believe this profile matched Paul Freshour's documented character. In the same investigation, forensic document expert Beverly East studied 49 letters. She reached the opposite conclusion. She said she was certain the letters were written by Freshour. She said she would swear it on a Bible in court. 2 experts, 2 conclusions, the same letters. There is one more detail that has never been explained. While Unsolved Mysteries was filming an episode about the Circleville letters in 1994, they received a postcard. It read, "Forget Circleville, Ohio. Do nothing to hurt Sheriff Radcliffe. If you come to Ohio, UL sickos will pay." The Circleville writer. The writer was still watching, still threatening, still aware of everything. I think about what it takes to do what the Circleville writer did. 18 years, hundreds of letters, watching people, learning their secrets, knowing their children, knowing their affairs, knowing their fear, and using every single piece of that knowledge to make their lives as painful as possible. This was not random. This was personal. This was someone who sat in their house in a quiet Ohio town and wrote letter after letter after letter for 18 years, and went to bed each night knowing that somewhere in Circleville, someone was reading their words and shaking. Was it Paul Freshour? Was it Karen Sue, his estranged wife who gave evidence against him during a bitter divorce? Was it someone else entirely? Someone the investigation never properly considered. The letters stopped in 1994. Paul Freshour died in 2012. The case has never been formally closed, and somewhere in or around Circleville, Ohio, in a house on an ordinary street behind an ordinary door, there may be someone who still remembers every secret they ever wrote down and never told a soul.